Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss. I haven't done anything for you to be proud of.
Of course you have. You are marrying a man who can support you.
Y'all want me to go ahead and react to it real quick? It's really bad. Like I thought I'm like, and if y'all support this man after she came out and she spoke about what she spoke about in her video, do we like abuse? Do we like supporting abusers? Seems like we do. It seems like we do. It seems like we like to support abusers. Since my connection wants to be better, seems like we do. Because that situation is worse. I think it's worse than what I thought it was. Let me go ahead and pull it up real quick. It's pretty bad. And I'm gonna say this before I start this video. You guys, please, because I just talked about this earlier. Shanice wanted family. She wanted a man. She wanted a husband. She wanted she wanted children. She wanted it really bad. Really, really, really bad. She wanted it so bad. And that's the dangerous part of being desperate for that, is you will end up in relationships with men that are extremely abusive and toxic. You have to love yourself more. You do. You have to choose yourself 1,000 times over if that's what it takes. You have to do that. You have to do that. But you can't expect for someone, just because you love them, to love you in the same way that you love them. You can't expect that. And just because you know your worth does not mean the person that you love will know your worth. Because this situation was sad. Like, I'm just like, oh my God. And also, before I start this video, the warning, like this video contains content that you may find disturbing. And I'm glad she put that up, because learning this, I have to start it over. It's really sad. Hold on, let me start the video. Before I start. Yes, y'all, I was disturbed because listen. I told y'all, okay, there was a smaller YouTuber in this space that called me out, and she said in her commentary, right, the part that I agreed with, she said that you need to be grateful enough that God's spirit never had you go through something like that you had to come from, like you had to grow from. And I'm like, damn, because y'all, I'm be real with you. It's nothing for me to drop a man. It ain't hard at all. It's not that hard. I struggled in one relationship simply because I was forcing it. I was taking all of this red pill content in. I was listening to men and their toxicity, and I was forcing it. I went against my own better judgment. But outside of that, like even before that relationship and after it, it's nothing for me to drop a man. So when I was listening to Danae's video, and I listened to the smaller content creator, I'm like, damn, I probably do need to humble myself, because girl, I could never. I could never. I'm sorry. Like a man? Girl, we talking about a man. Seriously? But I'm like, you know what? Everybody, not every woman out here, and I'm starting to understand this. Like, not every woman out here is strong in the mind like that. Some women, they have their weaknesses in the mind, and they give into those weaknesses, right? But I'm thinking like a man, though, like a man, we talking about a man. And so the smaller content creator, she made me realize, like, humble yourself a little bit, because if you had to go through something like that, just be grateful you don't have to go through something like that. Be grateful for the fact that you've never had to go through something like that. God never had to bring you that low. Similar to Krishan, right? God never had to bring you that low for you to come up. Be grateful for that. And I'm like, you know what? She got a point. She got a point. She got a point. Cause I'm like, girl, cause it was hard for me to understand Danae Jackson when she was swapping pussy juice. I gotta keep it all the way 1,000 with you. Pussy juice with all these other women knowingly. It's different when you swapping pussy juice with women you don't know nothing about. But you out here swapping pussy juice with women that you know about. Yeah, I couldn't relate to that part. But she said, humble yourself enough to where you just are grateful for the fact that you never had to go that low to come up. And I said, you know what? You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. She right. You're right. So let me go ahead and save that, because that's crazy, y'all. I'm like, I knowingly, it's different when a man cheats on you. He do weird stuff behind your back. It's different. But when he do it to your face, ooh, that's crazy. So I'm gonna humble myself when I watch this and just try to understand that even though I could never do this for a man, I could never go through all of this for a man. I'm gonna just be grateful that God didn't have to bring me this low to come up, like, for real.
Every time I was wrong, and every time I heard, so what are you going to do to make it up for me? You don't ever want to place anyone in a box, but you'll stick me in a penthouse. No matter how many times you ask, how can I be a better man for you? Not once did I ever see a change until I was finally done. When people don't feel heard, they stop talking. And after so long, I didn't have anything to say. But again, I was wrong, because I wanted to be together, and I entrusted in you to not steer me wrong. I always felt as though you desired the fantasy and not the responsibility of a family and a legacy. There's a big difference between wanting.
Wait a minute. A lot of these men fantasize. They have the fantasy of the family, but they don't want the responsibility. Did y'all hear her say that? I heard her say that. The rice on the floor, y'all, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. I really hope y'all stop watching this man on TikTok. I really do. I really hope Black women have the decency for this Black woman right here. I really do. I hope y'all stop watching him. But see, this is the thing. Black women collectively won't admit it, but you're addicted to chaos. You like this type of stuff. You like watching it. You like engaging in it. So I already know Black women are still gonna watch. I already know. I've been in this space long enough to know. Just like with the Kevin Samuel situation, like I said, we keep making abusers famous. We do. We keep making abusers famous. We don't even know how to pull back our support. We don't. We keep giving it and 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 giving it. So I'm not going to be hopeful with that. I'm not. I know he's going to continue He's going to get the support because Black women like chaos. Black women like chaos. They like being confused. Black women love drama. They love it. And this is why we keep making abusers famous.
A big fat wedding and wanting to be an amazing partner. There's a big difference between wanting to be a Insta mom and wanting to be a mother. So I always questioned why you never understood the difference when I asked, do you want a family because you lacked one growing up, or do you want a family because you desire to be an amazing husband and father? I think it's insane that you chastise me for my past experiences and partners, but you're unable to understand or realize that your past is hindering you from loving others. My experiences led me to the way that I love you. I guess I loved you so well that you wanted me to teach your queens how to treat you. And what sense does that make when you're the one choosing the queens for yourself? You learn through your experiences, and some of my experiences you guilt me for. And somehow you want someone inexperienced so they're unable to compare you. You say that I put on the front so that people won't judge me, but you're unable to be honest about why your preferences are the way they are.
Projection. Listen, if you want to learn about him, go to her YouTube channel. Okay? Don't go to his TikTok. So Shanice Roche, go to her YouTube channel. You want to learn all about Sean? Go to her page. I wouldn't even go to Olivia's page. Go to her page. If you want to learn more about Sean, you want to know who he is, go to her page. Black women, we have to start being selective. We have to start being a little more calculated when it comes to these situations. Go to her page. You want to know more about her, more about him. Okay. One thing that I do want to point out when it comes to Shanice, she's a hopeless romantic. She wants love real bad, real bad. And it's not to take that away from her, but when you want love more than you love yourself, that is an issue. You need to work on that. And that's what I was saying earlier. Okay. Yes. Do I want love? Of course. Don't we all? We all want it. I'm not afraid to admit that that is what I want. But at what cost though? My sanity? My mental health? Me being in a toxic relationship with a man? Me bringing kids into a dysfunctional environment? I don't want love that bad because I love myself more. The love that I have for myself is greater. It's greater. So that's what I need. I need women to please understand where I'm coming from. Because it's not about you being alone and you being single and unhappy. Why are you not happy with yourself? Because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like you're not happy with yourself. It sounds like you need a man to walk in, give you this grand experience of romance for you to feel love. Why don't you feel it from yourself? That's what I'm not understanding. And yes, it sounds cliche, like everybody's, oh, you just need self-love. You do, or else you're gonna get used up. You're gonna get taken advantage of. You have to love yourself more than being a hopeless romantic. Are you able to do that? And then if you're not, why don't you love yourself more? Why don't? Why don't you love yourself more? And I'm speaking in general. I'm not just talking about Shanice. I'm speaking in general. Why don't you love yourself more?
This isn't to bash you. I thought that I could help you. I thought that I could save you from yourself somehow because I thought that you deserved everything that you dreamed of. I know that you work hard and you spend a lot of time to provide and to sacrifice for your dream, but you flaunt all of those sacrifices as if I haven't made any. When you were struggling, I gave you all of my savings, $7,800. When you were struggling again,
wait a minute.
even though I hadn't been promoted and I was getting.
Wait a minute. 7,800? Did she say that? She said $7,800. Again, why don't you love yourself more? Why? Why? You gotta love yourself more. You gotta love yourself more. You gotta love yourself more. You do. And that's the thing. When I was talking about twin flames earlier, I love myself more. That's why I cut the cord, honey. I'm sorry. I don't love you that damn much. I don't. I love myself way more than to put up with that bullshit that you're trying to come with. I'm sorry. If I have to choose you over me, I'm going to choose me every single time. Sorry. Better find somebody else because it ain't with me. It ain't with me. I got to lose my sanity with you. I got to lose my self-respect with you. I got to lose my dignity with you. My pride? Oh, I'm going to choose me every single time because I don't love you that much. I'm going to always love myself more. And here come the narcissistic comments. Listen, we have a healthy ego over here because we know how to be humbled, but we also know our worth, right? But, you know, when you are egotistical, you're very arrogant. You think you're above everybody. You think you're above reproach. I'm not above reproach at all. At all. Because you want to know why? Because I believe that anyone can come in here and take everything that I have away from me just like that overnight. Just like that. My whole life can be shifted in a second, in a minute, in 30 minutes. Just like that. So have a healthy ego. Are there moments where you need to be humbled? Of course. So learn how to humble yourself. But there's also a moment where this is beneath me. This is below me. I deserve better than this. This ain't good enough. It's just not. And if that comes across arrogant to some, well, it's arrogant to them. But you know your worth though. And you're not afraid to say it. Some things are beneath you. It is what it is. Why is it beneath you? I mean, well, you didn't do all this leveling up and elevating just to remain at the same level that you was on. There was a time where it's like, yeah, you know, that was me. Like me and you was on the same level. But if you start working on yourself, you start elevating, some things are beneath you. Not everything needs a reaction from you. Some things are beneath you. It is what it is. So there's always going to be balance. Healthy ego, right, involves you knowing who you are, but also being humbled enough to learn, to grow, and to understand that you don't have all the answers. But you got to know who you are. You got to know your worth. You got to know your worth. You got to know your worth. You have to. Otherwise, people can see it in you and then take advantage of you. And then it's not just in love. It's in business. It's in career. Right? You don't think that highly of your work. You don't think that great of your talents, but other people do. And they see that you don't think that highly of yourself. So what do? They come in, they take advantage of you. They drain you of all of your resources, knowledge, talent. And it's easy to do because you don't think that highly of yourself. This is why you have to have ego. You have to. You can't be all humbleness. You cannot. You have to have a healthy balance between being humble and knowing what you're capable of and not being afraid of it. Listen, you good. It is what it is. You're good at what you do. You're talented at what you do. And you need to know that because if you don't, anyone can come in and just take advantage of you. And it won't be hard because you don't believe in yourself. You don't think highly of yourself.
Paid dirt cheap, I was still giving you half of my check as well as providing for your household. $4,000. The joint bank account that you just kicked me out of, thank you, $3,000. I'm sorry. And that's not including 7 days of Christmas twice. That's not including random gifts and birthday extravaganzas. And you make it seem as though you're the only one making sacrifices. You're making it seem as though you're the only one that cares. Whenever I needed money, it was because I either spent or lent it to you. I gave you everything that I had, and I kept giving and giving again and again and again and again and again. And I gave you all of me and more because I put you on a pedestal.
Ooh.
And all that I received were broken, empty promises. Oh, I was going to do this for you. Oh, I should have bought this for you. Oh, we could have gone to this place. Oh, we would have done this for your birthday. Broken promises.
She was out here dealing with a whole bum, y'all. You know, this is so sad, y'all. This is so sad. It's so sad. It's so sad. It's so sad. I don't like it when women get swindled. I don't like it when women get swindled. She lost $7,800. She got locked out of the joint account. Did we hear that right? He was just taking her money. This is crazy. And he supposed to be the good black man, right? Because he looked good on paper. He not a Pookie and a Ray, but he is a Pookie and a Ray. That's why I think this whole Pookie Ray debate, I think it's delusional. Because a lot of these men are more Pookie and Ray-ish than they may believe or think. Because just like Sean, he puts himself on a pedestal. He calls himself a king. He beat on his chest. And you taking $7,800 from a woman? And you don't think you a Pookie because you wear a collared shirt and some slacks? That's crazy to me, y'all. That is insane to me. And ladies, you believe in a body count? I don't believe in nothing. If it can't be proven, I don't believe in it. I don't. I leave room for doubt. I leave room for the truth being stretched. I don't believe in that. That's why I don't see the point in having a conversation. Because once we get done, I'm going to still think the way that I'm thinking. I don't believe it. I didn't see it. I wasn't there. I wasn't a witness. So no. He was just taken from this girl. And what do you think Olivia's story is, ladies? What do you think her story is? What do you think her story is? You know, I feel bad for the girls that are in these relationships where you have to big up your man, knowing the truth behind the scenes. When you go home, he roll over like, "Hey, can I get $20?" I feel bad because I know putting up that front, that has to be exhausting. That has to be. You pulling out your card, you doing this and you doing that, you doing this and you doing that. But at least you got that man though. You got that man. You got him. You got him. You got him. You got him. You got that man. You can dress him up, make him look nice. You put him on the arm, right? And you got that man and you can show him off. This is why I'm not impressed. That hopeless romantic, I went through that phase too when I was younger. I did. That hopeless romantic, it's a facade. Black love, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You just need to go to therapy for black love to be revealed to you. It's a hot mess. So that hopeless romantic stuff, that's dead. Because now I watch Love and Basketball and I'm like, couldn't be me. I couldn't do this. Monica, the hell? But you stayed with this man that was putting you through stuff back and forth, because he had daddy issues and mommy issues and trauma and emotional issues that he didn't want to deal with. I'm not dealing with that. And then he went and got another woman. Monica, you could have done better. What's homegirl from Brown Sugar? Girl, you could have done better. All the black love films, girl, I used to be infatuated. Like, oh my God. Girl, I look at that like, God, I can't believe I like this. This is a mess. She was putting up with that. That's how I watch Black love films today. Yvette, I'm like, girl, he hit you. Like he slapped you. And listen, they are conditioning your mind. They are conditioning your mind to think that that stuff is okay. They are conditioning your mind to think that it's acceptable. And that's what I feel bad about the younger generation when it comes to Krishan and Blueface. The younger generation is being conditioned to think that that stuff is okay. That is not okay. It's not okay at all. It's not okay at all. It's programming. That's exactly what it is. Like similar to social media as a whole, it programs you. But when you think of social media, it tends to desensitize things, right? Because it's online. So we see dead bodies now, like it's no big deal. You go on Twitter, you'll see a dead body and it's no big deal. It's because you have been programmed by social media to desensitize seeing a dead body. You have desensitized yourself. Same thing with Jackie O's funeral, the way they live stream a funeral. Y'all not going to desensitize me when it comes to a funeral. I draw the line with that. You may have done it with the dead body. You may have desensitized me with the dead body because the Sandra Bland, that was the first dead body that I saw on social media. And I was sick once I realized that picture that we had been reposting and sharing, thinking that her mugshot, she was alive in it and she wasn't, right? We later found out that she was dead. And we shared it. And social media, your mind was being desensitized every time that picture popped up in your news feed. So now I'm conditioned and programmed to not be fazed by a dead body, sadly. But y'all not about to desensitize me when it comes to that funeral. That funeral that we witnessed, the open and closing part within the ceremony, y'all not desensitizing that for me. It was insensitive to post that to social media. Everything don't need to be broadcasted. Some things are meant to be sentimental. So y'all not about to desensitize me with that. Y'all not about to desensitize me when it comes to these toxic relationships that are similar to Krishan and Blueface. Oh, girl, it's not a big deal. The hell it ain't. It's a huge deal. First of all, you know what's insane? Black women are giving Krishan a list of excuses while she's carrying a whole innocent baby in her belly. Do you care about the child at all? Or are you just going to keep giving her more excuses, more and more and more excuses? See, listen, this is the thing when it comes to me. I give grace, but at some point I got to draw the line. She has lost her mind, period. That baby didn't ask for that. I stayed out of it. I even said, you know what? I'm not talking about it. She gonna figure it out. But when that baby, when her belly started to grow, as you can see, I'm talking about it now. Because that's unacceptable. You want to give excuses to women that laid down and created a baby? That's crazy to me. I don't have an excuse. I don't have grace for that. I have grace for the child, but I don't have grace for that mother because she made a choice. And she's still making stupid decisions. Make it make sense. It don't make sense to me. So grace, that ended as soon as she decided to keep that baby. It expired. It expired. The grace is now going to that child because I'm looking at the mother and I'm like, what we doing here? What are we doing? And that's the thing. The Black community does not have boundaries. You can just do whatever you want to do. And people are just supposed to just accept it. No, we don't have to accept everything. We can give grace when it's appropriate. But when a child is in a woman's belly and she's behaving and carrying herself a certain type of way, I got a problem with that. I do. I got a problem with that. Some things are just unacceptable. So come on, stop allowing social media to desensitize you. It's not okay. It's just not. Toxic relationships are very real. There are women out here losing their lives in relationships that are similar to Krishan, yet we still praising her. For what? What are we praising her for? So no, my grace, like I said, it expired when she was caught in that car smoking marijuana. That's when my grace, it expired. And see, people today, oh, we're gentle parenting. We're gentle parenting. Okay, so what is it? Where do you draw the line with your child when it comes to gentle parenting? They just gonna keep ice skating and they're just gonna keep walking all over you. You're not gonna eventually be like, okay, my gentleness is ran out. So that's what I'm saying. As a society, like, where are we going with this? Grace and positivity, gentle parenting. It seemed like the world getting worse, in my opinion. Authority has to be taking place at some time. So I don't know what is it gonna take, but no, that when she got pregnant with that baby, she was caught in that car smoking marijuana. That's when Yoni's grace was expired. I'm like, oh hell no, girl, what are we doing? Because it ain't about her no more. It ain't just about Krishan no more. That's where it all ended for me. So, because at first I'm like, damn, is the girl pregnant? Is she not? I couldn't really tell. But let's continue.
Expectations lead to disappointment. It's frustrating to see you choose your queen and have such high expectations for them and them not meet your standards. You continuously come to me complaining about how this may not be a good fit for your selection and how you may get rid of a queen because you feel like you're babysitting. But somehow I'm chastised when you feel as though I'm not treating a queen like an adult. But again, we learn through our experiences, and I was expecting for someone to be knowledgeable in something and experienced. I'm at fault for my expectations, and I'm even at fault for expressing my sexual boundaries because of your egotistical fantasies. Somehow I'm wrong. Somehow I'm being selfish. And after explaining my sexual boundaries, after reiterating my sexual boundaries, after telling you that I will not engage with anyone, you continue to push regardless of the boundaries that are set. We are never asked what we want. We are never asked what we want to do. We are always told what is happening. And that is it. And if what you wanted wasn't obeyed, then we weren't being submissive. You always used to give me this quote and say, you allow what you agree with.
Y'all, that's a lot. That's really a lot. That is a lot. You know, sexual boundaries are real. And I don't think that it's talked about enough. Because I'm like, what type of sexual boundaries was she referring to? And it seems like she was never comfortable with the idea of Olivia coming into the bedroom, but maybe that was something that he was trying to convince her of, which is weird because isn't Shanice the one that is bisexual? So even as a bisexual woman in this poly style relationship, she was never okay with Olivia coming into the picture, which a lot of us assumed, right? Just because of how their relationship started. So she is, even as a bisexual, and listen, as a bisexual woman, you have every right to set that boundary with your spouse, your partner, right? That's crazy to me. Somebody's saying, is she truly bisexual? I don't know. I'm gonna just go off her word and say, yes, she is. But she was never okay with Olivia. Olivia was the one that was heterosexual, strictly heterosexual, but she was open about being bi. But maybe she was just saying that because to save face. That could be a reason. Maybe. It doesn't sound like she wanted this non-traditional relationship based off of everything we've heard so far. It sounded like she wanted the traditional relationship. That's what it sounded like. But her sexual boundary was not to involve other people in this relationship dynamic. That's what I got. So that's sad. So regardless of whatever spectrum you fall on as a bisexual woman, you still deserve the right to set sexual boundaries with your partner in an open marriage, an open relationship, whatever the case may be, non-traditional. You're still allowed to set boundaries, sexual boundaries with your partner. And that's the scary thing about some of these men. They really think that if you are open to this, and this, that you can't have any boundaries that are associated with these non-traditional style relationships or these non-traditional agreements that they may have with you. And that's what's scary about some of these men. Like, they really don't want you to have any boundaries. They want to be able to just come and go and do as they please. And they don't want you to trip about it. They just want you to be okay with it. But even in these non-traditional relationships, you're still allowed to set sexual boundaries with your partner, or boundaries as a whole within your relationship. That's what's scary about these men that are pushing these. Like, I've seen so many men push poly now. Like, poly. Poly relationships still come with boundaries. It's not where you just get to do what you want to do without communicating first with your partner or your partners.
The fact that you're able to look me in my face, tell me that you know that you treat me like trash, tell me that you know that you treat me as a punching bag when you are having a rough time in your business, why would I stay? Why would I allow that? After weeks of you asking me to change my mind and trying to prove to me that you've changed, your last words didn't really surprise me. You're weak.
Oh.
You're weak for leaving your family. You're weak for not giving up without a fight. You're a coward. Honestly, I'm weak for not leaving sooner. A friend of mine asked me what I loved about you, what I think you needed in this moment, and what I think you need to remove. In this moment, I think you need peace. Whatever that may look like or feel like for you along that journey, I really hope that you're able to acknowledge and let go of your insecurities and your traumas. Healing is hard, but continuously and desperately trying to hold yourself together is also hard. How did we get here? I truly felt as though your intentions were pure, and I was shown otherwise. I was showing up for everyone else, and not only was no one showing up for me, I wasn't showing up for myself. So instead of my people-pleasing tendencies serving you, I'm choosing me. I am deserving of success and happiness.
Okay, y'all, I love it.
I am a child of God, and He has a plan for me.
I love it. 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 I do. I do. I do. I do. I do. I do. I love the last part. She chose herself. Listen, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. The healing journey is about you reflecting, deep reflection though. And it seems like she's doing that with the journaling. Deep reflection, accountability. She's doing all of that. Ownership. Right? And choosing yourself. Like, that's what it is. That is what it is. This is a great start for her. Like, I'm happy for Shanice. I am. I still think though that she left this relationship due to the military, but I don't think that it takes away from her taking these steps though, because anybody can risk losing something, but then not actually do the work to move forward. She seems like she's really doing the work to move forward. I don't think it takes away from anything that she's trying to do. So listen, God will send you a wake-up calls similar to like what she kind of got that will push you in a better direction or a better path that is more suitable for you. And it seems like she's really doing the work on herself to move forward. I'm very happy for her. Like, it really is about you choosing yourself. Like, do you love yourself more? Do you? Do you love yourself more? I am willing to risk it all for me. But to risk it all for another person, I have to take a gamble with that. But me, I'll take a gamble on myself because I love myself and I trust myself. But to take a gamble on another person, that's me taking a huge risk. And it may not go the way that I would want it to go. And see, that's the thing about that's the thing about love. You know, it's a risk. It's very risky. For a man and a woman, it's risky. It's risky. But if a person is showing you signs that it ain't it, that person is not worth the risk. So you got to leave them. You got to leave them. You're worth the risk. When you choose yourself, you're worth the risk. But that person, they're not worth the risk. They just not. That's why you got to leave them alone. You got to leave them alone. Let them go. Let them go. So that's all that I have regarding this video. I'm going to probably chop this up and make this public if you're just now tuning in, but the rest of this is going to go on my Patreon.